experience. So not in the science laboratory, but out and about in the world where science impacts them. Computer-based visualizations and simulations. So things like computer-based virtual laboratories are increasingly used in science education, partly where you don't have a laboratory, or the laboratory experience or experiment is too dangerous to do with students, or to give more students access to those laboratory experiences, we use these online simulations. And one of the things that we've actually learned is that technology we don't want to go from a very sort of homogeneous, all the same for everybody teaching in the classroom, to go to a very homogeneous, all the same for everybody teaching online. One of the things that computers are quite good at doing is adapting and personalizing, learning to individual students and their needs, working out how to getting data on what the student already knows and what they need to know, and how to give them the learning experiences they need to help them gain that. So one of the things we've learned, though, and this comes out of my own research, is that pedagogy is crucially important, that the way teachers teach is as important or more important than the technology, that we've learned that just introducing a new technology won't aid learning in itself unless the teachers know how to teach best with that technology. So teachers are absolutely crucial. We have heard takes about computers replacing teachers, and I don't think that that's particularly a worry, because computers are not smart enough yet, and possibly will never be smart enough in the right way to replace human beings in teaching human beings. It's really crucial, that role, that active role of the teacher. And so how do we prepare teachers in teacher education programs? And then how do we professionally develop teachers once they've been teaching for 5, 10, 15, 20 years? How do we continue to help them to develop their pedagogy so that they can use these technologies? I guess the other thing is disruptions tend to be seen as negative, and they are. I mean, we can't discount the fact that, as I say, very large numbers of people have died due to the COVID pandemic, and even larger numbers of people have got very sick, and some of them with long ongoing effects. So it is a negative thing, but what things can we gain and learn and take forward from these various disruptions? One thing I think is that we've understood in a new way that we're post-geographical. That means the place isn't so important. So we used to fly from country to country if we could afford it, and not fly if we couldn't afford it. And it was quite difficult to do these international collaborations around research, but also around events like today. And I think we've learned a lot about how we can use the technology to bridge the gaps between our various countries, the physical gaps of travel, and work together, do real deep, sophisticated research that might involve cross-country collaborations or comparisons between countries, or just figuring out how to work together in better ways. I think there's more to do. One of the points, I think, is that time zone is important. It's about 9:33 your time in Indonesia now. It's about 10:33 my time in Australia. That's really nice and convenient. I've done presentations for people in Germany and in America that involved me getting up at 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning to be able to present. So people in our same time zones, our same area of the globe, are people we should be collaborating with more, I think, because it's convenient, but we also have similar interests in our region that I think are different from the interests of people in other regions. So finding new collaborators who we hadn't necessarily traditionally collaborated with. I think Australian and New Zealand researchers had traditionally looked to Britain or America for collaborators, but I think looking in our region and using this technology to help with that can be quite helpful as well. And thinking about how to offer learning activities to all students everywhere at all times. Making sure that the new innovations that we create aren't so expensive or so inaccessible or so difficult that they are only for the wealthiest students, but figuring out ways to offer more learning to every student. So we've got about 5 minutes to go. I've just made the point that doing this requires not again, smushing everybody in Indonesia and everybody in Australia into one homogenous group. There are differences within country, there are differences within groups and systems, and there are differences nationally and internationally that we need to understand to do good collaborations, to do high quality collaborations. Now, I've seen lots of messages coming in, so I'm going to stop sharing the screen and check the chat. And okay, excellent. And I've got some messages on WhatsApp, so I'll just quickly check those. Perfect, excellent. So we've got about 5 minutes left because I talk very fast. I do apologize for talking quite so fast. But if there are any questions or comments that people would like to make, either in the chat that I can respond to or turn your microphone on and ask, that'd be fantastic.
Well, thank you, Dr. David Gallen, for your presentation just now. That's quite insightful and informative, actually. So, for the question and answer session, anyway, we will take up to 2 questions from the participants. The way to address the question can be directly by raising hands via Zoom screen, or the participants can also write their question on the chat box that we have. So we are waiting for the questions from the participants anyway.
Okay, while waiting for the participants giving some questions to my very best supervisor, David Gillan. So let me introduce, he is my supervisor when I was in Australia at Griffith University, and it's so an honor meeting him today again, and we'll have more collaborative. We really hope that the COVID-19 will be the situation will come back in the normal situation soon this year, so we could do a face-to-face interaction. So we could invite David here, and then we could go there, and then we could do more productive collaboration, something like that, in terms of in education field and in the research. And I'm so sorry. It's about. Mr. Muflihun here is his role today's session, the morning session, is the moderator. So I give the floor to Mr. Muflihun. But before that, I'm going to hear again the Mr. David voice. Hey, David.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think that's an important point, that Zoom can do a lot, but it was very great having you here in the Gold Coast. And I think sometimes there's no substitute for human beings face to face in a room as well. I think it's really important.
Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, Lihun, you could lead the question and answer session.
Okay, so yes, thank you, Dr. Maulana. Anyway, we are still waiting for the participants to address their questions. They can ask directly by raising hand on Zoom, or maybe can write their question on the chat box. So we are waiting for them anyway. So let me just explain a little bit about Associate Professor David Gallan, about his expertise. Anyway, David Gallan, as an Associate Professor of School of Education and Professional Study at Griffith University, Australia. He is a science educator which specializes to how people utilize technological advancement to teach physical science, and how teachers indeed teach physical science. His current position is the Deputy Head of Academic School at Griffith University since May 2020 up to present. So that's a little bit about his profile. If you are interested in learning about physical science, especially when it is integrated with technological advancement or technological facilities. You may ask Professor David Gialan directly during this session.
Thank you, Mr. Muflahan. And we do have a question from Aduman. Hi. I think that the question essentially is about research and integrating technology in research. So I think there are, to me, the answer has two parts. One is using the technology to do the to do the research. So what technologies do we use to do research? So, for example, one of the benefits of online activity is that there's a lot of data in the background. So there are tracking of student views and behavior and what they're doing on the site. So the technology can generate and collect a lot of data about learning that we don't have to then go and survey the students or interview the students. We can do a lot of research using the technology. We still need to do all of the appropriate research ethics, request permission from the participants to gain their data and so on. But so we can use the technology to generate data for research. And we use it for analysis. We use tools like NVivo for qualitative analysis and SPSS or R for quantitative analysis. But I think the new thing is generating data using the technology. And then the other piece, I guess, is research on technology. So figuring out how the technology is impacting learning. One of the things that I'm interested in is I've been researching online learning since 1995. I can't even do the maths. That's quarter of a century. So it's changed a lot, obviously, in that time. But one of the things that happened last year was that a lot of teachers suddenly had to teach their students online with almost no notice. A couple of weeks, if that. Immediately we switched to online teaching. Now there's research being done on that online teaching, but that wasn't what I would call proper online teaching. They didn't have time to prepare properly. They didn't have time to create videos and resources and tools. They were suddenly just, I'm not in a classroom anymore. I'm on Zoom with my students. What do I do now? So I'm worried that the research results will come out and say students don't learn very well from online learning. But I think they learn well from proper, well-prepared, well-designed online learning. I don't think they learn maybe quite so well in the middle of a major international crisis when they're locked down at home and their teacher hasn't had time to prepare. So does that make sense? Thinking about how we learn from technology in these contexts. And I hope it was that approximately an answer to what you were asking, Adam.
Okay. Thank you for the answer. That's quite clear anyway. We are facing what we call disruptive era. COVID-19 pandemic has changed everything, especially in the way we are teaching our students. So yes, as we know that the teachers nowadays, they should prepare themselves to use technological things like Zoom meetings or maybe Google Meet, teach their students, and sometimes they don't have enough preparation to do that. They have to learn how to use that kind of technology and also how to integrate their material, their what we call their topics in that application to teach students. So that's quite difficult anyway. That's quite challenging because we are now still in COVID-19 situation.
Yeah, can I just mention, I have a PhD student from Ghana at the moment who is studying how teachers prepare themselves to use technology in the classroom. And he's talked about the fact that the teachers partly prepare themselves to use the technology by just using it in their everyday lives. If you are used to using video conference for everything else, then it's easier to use it for teaching. But there's another layer. There is a real understanding of the right pedagogy for online learning. And it's not simple. It's not just taking what you do in the classroom and taking that to the online environment. There is real understanding to be gained, and there's a big body of research on how we effectively teach in an online environment. So I think, we in teacher education, I've also been teaching teachers for a very long time, and we do try to prepare teachers for that. But it has to be an ongoing process because technology changes much faster than the teaching workforce changes.
Yep. Okay, we are still waiting for the other questions from participants. Okay. So to participants, you can ask the question.
I wonder, might it be easier if people could ask the questions in Bahasa Indonesia in the chat, and then someone could translate for me? That might help.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the participant can also ask question in Bahasa Indonesia, and I myself will translate your question, or maybe Dr. Malina could also help us to translate that question. So please.
Maybe they are still shy to ask the question. Okay. How is the weather there in Australia?
It's very rainy. It's been very rainy for the last several weeks. Yeah. We're actually my wife and I are on holiday at the moment, and we hope that the rain goes away before the end of the holidays.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, my picture in the background isn't a current picture.
I guess that's the current picture. That's beautiful behind your chair there. That's so beautiful. Okay. All right. Are you at the office or at home?
No, at home.
At home. Good.
Yeah,
say my best regard to it. So.
I will, definitely.
Okay. Okay. Lihun, you can lead.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, if I can ask a question, what are the challenges of integrating what we call like our course or material into technology to teach our students?
Yeah, I think this is a little bit of a partial answer, but I think one of the challenges is to teach our students in all the subjects we teach, not just in science, some kind of critical media literacy. So the ability to read media, whatever that happens to be, whether it's video, whether it's text, whatever it happens to be, and look for fair, accurate, good sources. Because, that's another disruption that I maybe should have mentioned, is the flood of disinformation on social media. So the Facebook, the Instagram, the whatever the technologies are great for allowing communication, but they're also spreading disinformation. So there's a recent study that says most of the vaccine misinformation in the world is spread by 12 individuals. So it doesn't take very many people, because they've got these technologies to spread information. So we need to be educating our students to be able to be critical, to be able to read carefully, to be able to consider the source that things come from. Is this reputable information from a reputable source? So I think there's a lot of work to be done around not just using the technology, but understanding and working with the information the technology brings to students.
Okay, so yeah, that's quite clear anyway. Okay, thank you for the answer, Professor German. I think
there's a question in the chat.
We don't have any more participants to ask questions.
The chat, on the chat box.
There's one question from Daisy in the Philippines, which I'll maybe answer very quickly if that's okay. I mentioned briefly the idea of personalized learning. Sorry, I mentioned briefly.
Okay, sorry. We have.
Yeah, I mentioned the idea of personalized learning before, and it's something that a couple of colleagues and I wrote a book about a couple of years ago, is the ways in which technology allows us to, exactly as you say, Daisy, empower students to control their own learning. That Well, I think, in education for some decades now, we haven't really thought about education as just a direct flow of knowledge from the teacher to the student. That we understand that the student has an active role in constructing their own knowledge. So I think the technology can enable the students to draw knowledge from a range of different sources and pull it together. It's related to the point I was just making about critical literacy, about being able to consider a number of sources and a number of pieces of information and pull that together. But we need to actually prepare the students to do that. I think the temptation sometimes, particularly if the teacher's not so confident with the technology, is to just say, oh, here's the learning technology students, you go do it because you're better with technology than me. They might be better at technology, some of the students, but they're not better at learning. So our role as teachers is to scaffold and support and prepare our students so that they can be empowered to then learn for themselves. We're essentially not teaching them facts and information, we're teaching them how to learn for a lifelong learning process.
Okay. Thank you for the answer. That's quite clear anyway. Well, I think we are run out of time. So let me actually, we do appreciate your presentation, your material, your topic today to be presented in this conference. So we want to show your certificate actually, because we have provided that, and here we go.
Okay.
So here it is. Okay, so this is your certificate of being a presenter in this first international conference on multidisciplinary research for educational innovation in disruptive era, which is organized by Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Muhammadiyah University of Kendari in Indonesia on 5th April to 6th April 2021. And anyway, do you have any closing remark of your presentation, or maybe some conclusions from your points?
No, let me just say thank you very much for the opportunity to talk to you. I hope this has been useful in sparking some thought. The research that goes forward from here will be you. I'm still doing bits and pieces of research, but I'm also doing a lot of pushing papers as a deputy head of school at the moment. So the really exciting research in education will be the participants in this. So I'm honoured to have had a chance to speak at this first international conference, and I will say thank you and wish you a fantastic rest of the conference.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Gowan, for your attendance and for your presentation today. Again, we hope that we can collaborate in the other events in upcoming years. So thank you very much again. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
So that's all the presentation from Associate Professor David Gillen from Griffith University, who was talking about physical science integrated in technology. So thank you very much. Again, yeah.
Thank you so much, David. See you soon.
Okay, thank you. So we are going to invite anyway the next speaker,
Dr. Alexis.
Okay, Dr. Alexis. Sorry, Dr. Alexis. Is she here? Is she already joined? Hello. Dr. Alexis. Is she here? Okay, maybe she's trying to connect to our room meeting now, so we can just wait for her for probably within 5 minutes. So just enjoy the music.
utama dalam menghadapi era globalisasi dengan penguasaan ilmu baik dalam bentuk soft skill dan hard skill, terutama di bidang teknologi dan akhlak yang dapat ditempuh di perguruan tinggi. Universitas Muhammadiyah Kendari menjadi pilihan utama menempuh pendidikan tinggi. Merupakan satu-satunya perguruan tinggi swasta di Sulawesi Tenggara dengan akreditasi institusi sangat baik sejak tahun 2018 dan mendapatkan predikat perguruan tinggi swasta terbaik di Sulawesi Tenggara versi Unirank pada tahun 2021. UM Kendari menjadi penggerak di bidang pendidikan dilandasi nilai-nilai akhlakul karimah dan kemuhammadiyaan serta tagline utama Virtual Islamic University sehingga menjadikan pilihan utama dalam membentuk mahasiswa dengan lulusan konsep yang islami. Suasana belajar yang sangat baik ditunjang oleh berbagai fasilitas seperti studio perancangan arsitektur, laboratorium pertambangan, laboratorium bahasa, laboratorium komputer terintegrasi, ruang multimedia, laboratorium peradilan semu, perpustakaan berbasis digital, ruang pembelajaran baca tulis Al-Quran, ruang bursa efek Indonesia, ruang telekonferensi, dan unit kegiatan mahasiswa serta sarana penunjang lainnya seperti wifi area dan taman baca. Didukung dengan standar kurikulum berbasis Merdeka Belajar dan KKNI serta tenaga pengajar berkompeten dengan sertifikasi nasional. UM Kendari saat ini menyediakan 18 program studi sarjana yang berdiri di bawah naungan 8 fakultas. Fakultas Teknik, Fakultas Pertanian, Fakultas Perikanan dan Ilmu Kelautan, Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Ilmu Politik, Fakultas Hukum, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Islam, Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan, Fakultas Agama Islam, dengan mayoritas terakreditasi sangat baik dan 2 program studi terakreditasi unggul. Kami juga menyediakan berbagai macam beasiswa bagi mahasiswa baru, yaitu beasiswa seni sains dan olahraga, beasiswa hafiz Quran, beasiswa persyarikatan, beasiswa minat agromaritim, beasiswa program kemitraan. Memilih UM Kendari sebagai pilihan melanjutkan pendidikan tinggi merupakan keputusan yang sangat tepat. Pada tahun 2021 ini, UM Kendari membuka penerimaan mahasiswa baru mulai tanggal 8 Maret hingga 8 Agustus tahun 2021 dengan 2 kali gelombang penerimaan. Untuk jalur masuk di UM Kendari terdiri dari 3 jalur. Jalur reguler, jalur beasiswa, jalur KIP kuliah. Kami juga menyediakan pelayanan penerimaan mahasiswa baru dengan konsep one day service di Gedung B UM Kendari.
Okay, hello. Welcome Doctor of Education Alexis Enriquez Arzulaga. Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Sorry.
Dr. Alexis. Dr. Alexis is here with us. So, Mr. Moderator, you could lead the presentation. The session. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Before giving her chance to present her topic today, I would like to read a little bit about her profile. Doctor of Education Alexis Arizabal Enriquez, actually from Abra State Institute of Science and Technology, Benguet Campus, Philippines. And it is clear while looking at her profile, it is clear that she has been teaching for almost 30 years. Her areas of expertise is in English language teaching, management of education, and some other areas. She also has several published papers. Some of them are teaching styles of language instructors and language performance of CTE students of the Abra State Institute of Science and Technology. Motivations for choosing teaching as a career, and a Brownian perspective, and the other one is evaluation of the management and quality of school paper. Her participation in international organizations and conferences is also unquestionable. That is why she was awarded the Best Presenter in Social Science of Asian Virtual Multidisciplinary Research Conference on August 2020 by Payer or Field Association Best Presenter in Education Institution for Research, and some other notable awards. Well, to Dr. Alexis, time is yours.
Dr. Alexis is trying to connect to this room. Probably something happened with the connection, but she is here.
Bucuk. Dapat bucuk. Bucuk ni anak.
Well, she's probably trying to connect. already with us here in meeting room. Hi, Dr. Alexis, how are you? Hello, Dr. Alexis, how are you? Oh, probably she got the problem with her audio.
Ayo duduk. Duduk makan. Sana dulu
Okay, again, while waiting for her, I would like to highlight her profile anyway. Yeah, actually, Dr. Alexis Arzabal Enrique has been teaching for almost 30 years. And yeah, that's quite a lot of experience. And actually, her publication and also her attendance on a seminar or webinars are also unquestionable. And she also awarded some prestigious award from some organizations, and also she has been actively participating in membership organizations, either from national or some international organizations. If I could read some of them, are ISTAR, and then NACAM, SPAM. Of course, she could also explain what are these organizations, because we don't know actually what are these organizations, and some of them are ASEAN Intellect and Transcendence, PAFTI, and Tesla. And her expertise actually is in ELT, or English language teaching, and educational management, but some local trainings. Sorry, I've just lost my connection.
Here we have Dr. Alexis, but we're still waiting for her connection. So yeah, something happened, but it will be better soon, probably 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, probably we could invite Dr. Widya. Dr. Widya to take the time, probably 20 minutes while Dr. Alexis is here. Doctor, can you say something so probably can check the sounds? Doctor, can you say something so we could probably hear something from you? Oh, something happened with the audio. Or would it be possible if we have Dr. Widya to present for 20 minutes and while you are checking the audio, then after that we come back to you? Is that possible? Oh, something happened with, you can see, okay. Okay, ma'am, takes your time.
Hello, Dr. Alexis. Can you hear us? Hello, Dr. Alexis. Hello, can you hear us? Hello, welcome, Dr. Alexis. Can you hear us?
Alexis.
Hello, welcome back, Dr. Alexis.
Dimakan dulu baru kita mandi ya. Mandi.
We still cannot hear your voice, doctor.
Makan dulu baru mandi.
Yes. So, would it possible, doctor, if you use other computer, probably it will connect the audio. Other computer, so yeah, something like. Or would it be that possible where you are checking your computer sound? We come to, or we invite Dr. Widya to present her paper, and then after that we come back to you. Would it be that possible?
Wow.
Okay, thanks. So we come while waiting for the technical problem. Something happened, but I wish it will be better soon. We'll have, okay, Dr. Moderator, you could have Dr. Widya to present her speech. Okay. And after that, we come back to Dr. Alexis. Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Maulana, who is letting me to continue the presentation. Well, because a technical problem with Dr. Alexis, we cannot go on with her. That's why we are now inviting the next presenter, Dr. Widya Rizky Pratiwi. Let me look at her little bit about her profile. Dr. Widya Rizky Pratiwi, MM from Stenik Bina Adinata Bulukumba, Indonesia. Her research interest is in immersion program, teaching English as a foreign language, ELT teaching methodologies, mobile learning, and learning strategies. How are you, Dr. Widya?
I'm good, thank you, moderator.
Okay, so welcome to the first international conference on multidisciplinary research for educational innovation in disruptive era. So your presentation will be up to 30 minutes, and there will be a question and answer session right after you finish your presentation. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the time. Let me to share my presentation. Can you see the screen of my presentation? Okay, thank you. Okay, well, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Well, before speaking more and more, let me to invite you all to pray, to remember, and to praise Peter that Allah will given us the mercy and blessing to can together here in this Zoom meeting, and even though in the middle of coronavirus. Salawat and taslim goes to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has been the leader of human being and who has brought us from Jahiliyyah to this modern era, so we can make some innovation for our better life. And then I would like to say thank you very much to the University of Multidisciplinary, who has invited me as a speaker in this first international conference of multidisciplinary research for educational innovation in disruptive era. And then thank you very much to the moderator who has given me the time to speak up in this opportunity. And then I would like to congratulate to all the institutions who have events, special to the Indonesian Education Share to Care volunteers. Well, let me to introduce myself. My name is Widya Rizky Pratiwi. I'm a lecturer in one of the universities in South Sulawesi, Indonesia. And then in this time and a good opportunity, I'm going to share and promote about one kind of WhatsApp group based in the school to remain productive in COVID-19 pandemic. Why I interest to share this topic, because no one can predict when this virus leave us, while we have to keep productive life normally and move quickly to adjust our way of life with the current situation among the COVID-19. So I think it still needs a concern and focus of investigation to develop some innovation, especially in the education side. Okay. Let's see what happened with the current work condition. Before the end of 2019, we conducted our normal life with face-to-face interactions, such as go to school as participant in some events, discuss with our community, work at the office happily, and so on. And then we touch each other, logging together and sit close each other, and everything we did offline. However, in the end of 2019 and early January 2020, the Chinese government has classified the origin of coronavirus, which first attacked in Wuhan, China. And then, the virus spread out quickly, attacked the world, including Indonesia, and it results a direct impact to the education, to the human health. And then, in response to this condition and situation, various efforts have been made by the government in some countries, including the instruction of work from home or study from home, and then social distancing, physical distancing, and any term in related to this COVID-19 to limit the citizens' access to go to the crowded places and their contact with the others. So in this situation, the citizens were asked to reduce activities outside the home and keep the distance from others to minimize the spread of COVID-19. So with the implementation of social distancing, we are expected to create and implement a work system and learn from home online. So, day to day, the COVID-19 doesn't only impact to the human health, meanwhile to all aspects of the to all sides of the life, such as education, economy, politics, social, and so on. And the introduction of work from home became a big challenge especially for the busy people or they who accustomed to work outside. And suddenly they felt they have to do the same activities at home, and it may result them in getting depression or stress. So, however, according to Petzl 2020, he reveals that the saturation can be overcome by doing positive things. and useful activities to remain productive in COVID-19 pandemic. So I think being productive can help avoid monotony activities, improve a personality, and indirectly, it also, I think it's also raises motivation and encouragement to others to do productive things under their respective hobbies, such as reading books, cooking, and gathering. And then social distancing can be used also to do a business and sell product online. I think this method is more productive, saving time and energy compared to the selling offline, of course. And then besides this, social distancing also, we can use this condition to build established networking, participate in some online seminars and discussion, and so on. And it also supported by Sakti Rahman and Salija 2016, who said that everyone can also share ideas and exchange information in virtual communities and networks through social media communication. So in this COVID-19 pandemic, I think all of us agree that social media is the only access to communicate with friends and relations. So in line with this social media, I found something unique to explore during the COVID-19, in which some people initiate a free English learning platform using WhatsApp media. According to Maulina 2019, WhatsApp is a social media kind that has many benefits for students to improve their English skills, especially in speaking. And among various affordable online media such as Facebook, Instagram, Google Classroom, WhatsApp is considered the most comfortable, attractive, and efficient weapon for the teachers. So back to this WhatsApp group-based English school, these productive people form a WhatsApp group, and then they promote beneficial activities by inviting others to join the WhatsApp group they have created to learn English. And one of them is I promote and I introduce Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School, or in English we can say that Indonesian Productive Home of English School. And the members of this WhatsApp group-based English school are people across Indonesia who join the group to learn English. And this unique productive activity raises my interest to study it deeply, because not only facing coronavirus pandemic, it's also need because entering industrial 4.0.1 technology becomes an essential thing that develops rapidly. Here is some of previous researchers who have investigated about the useful of or the using of WhatsApp in the implementation. Riaini, Heriadi, Sentikaya, and so on, and all of them state a positive impact or findings about the use of WhatsApp in the learning. And WhatsApp permits students to be autonomous learners because they can learn independently. They can practice using their language to share opinion without being limited by space and time. And this statement, of course, support the emergence of WhatsApp group-based English school among the COVID-19 pandemic. Even the school's primary purpose is to develop English proficiency as the ammunition to face the industrial 4.0 era. Okay, here is the research method. I conducted a study as a mixed method of qualitative and quantitative data to find out to investigate what is actually Indonesian productive home of English school, and then what motivates the learners to join this WhatsApp based English school, this WhatsApp group based English school, and then I become also a participant observation to observe the learning process in this WhatsApp group-based English school. So there were 51 members who accessed the Google form link that was shared. The result of the survey from 51 participants shows that here is okay. The data shows that there are 18 male who participate in this group, and I'm so sorry. Here is there were 33 female, and then join of the group of the total participants. 21 were from Java Islands, 15 were from Sulawesi, 7 were from Sumatra, 3 from Kalimantan, 2 were from Papua, and then the rest is from the overseas who work and studied in Australia. We can see that the diversity age to the United Nations, including the education field, and then the experience of learning English and also in other part of the country. So by being in the same group, members are expected to share information related to the English. And then this one who are students of formal school, and the rest are over 30 years old. So in the daily life, they have different activities. We can see in the figure, 8 participants are the housewife, and then 8 participants also the students of the formal school, and then 30 participants were employees. Where in everyday life they work as a lecturer, entrepreneurs, government officer, a doctor, lawyers, risk management consultant, IT consultant, programmers, and so on. So this survey proved that this WhatsApp group-based English school is intended for all age and professions. Okay, let me to share what is actually Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School. It is a WhatsApp group-based English school that was founded at May 2, 2020. So it's early COVID pandemic attack Indonesia. And then Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School is a new platform-based English learning innovation that utilizes technologies development. Uniquely, WhatsApp group-based English school has no connection with the formal school curriculum. The group was formed based on the awareness and self-initiation of Indonesia's productive people to face COVID-19 pandemic. These groups present citizens space and opportunity to increase their potential by joining and learning together for a specific purpose. So there is no teacher in this group. All are the learners. However, this group is controlled and managed by the director and also the deputy of the director. And then the director is helped by some administrators and also a board of experts who in this case, who expert in teaching English as a foreign language. Okay, we can see also the figure, the learner's motivation to join a WhatsApp group-based English school. The figure demonstrates that there were 10 specific reasons why people join this WhatsApp group-based English school. These reasons were, I identify these reasons into 2 kinds of motivation, namely English-based motivation and non-English-based motivation. Or the general motivation. So according to the survey, the members' primary reasons for participating in school were based on the English motivation. We can see 27 participants join the group because they want to learn and improve their English, followed by the willingness to practice speaking skills. So in the highest curve, we can see the members were not only concerned about improving the speaking skills, but they expected to learn integrated English language skill. While in the second curve, namely the member only focus on enhancing their verbal production. And then you can see the rest of the motivations. After these two kinds of English-based motivation, there were four kinds of general motivation or non-English-based motivation. 7 learners, we can see in the curve, 7 learners, after they want to expand the networking and make many friends, and getting knowledge and experience were revealed also by 6 students or 6 learners. 2 learners stated that they joined the group to share knowledge and positive values with other members, while 1 student explained that they would like to find something interesting and fun when joining the group. And the other 4 reasons were related to English-based motivation, which were mentioned by 4 different participants. One participant stated state that by mastering English, he wants to travel to many countries. And then one participant also said that she wants to practice her confidence and courage to speak English. The other participant said that he wants to learn how to improve his English ability, and one participant said that she united in the group because she wants to find opportunity to study abroad. Okay, here is we can see the activities. So I also become a participant observation to investigate or to explore about the learning process in this WhatsApp group-based English school. So the activities in the WhatsApp based English in the WhatsApp group-based English school are divided into 2 types, namely daily chit chat or free talking, and then the second one is focus activities or structure learning. So what I mean by daily chit chat or free talking, the participants here can share anything freedom based on what they want to talk every time and wherever they are. While the focus activities or structured learning have 3 programs, namely Let's Write and Read programs, Let's Listen, Let's Speak programs, and it's only the administration only conduct this program 3 times or 3 days in a week. So we can also see the rules of this WhatsApp group based English school. I would like to read some of them. The first one is the members are expected to use English to communicate in the group, both in learning program and in daily chit chat. And then Bahasa Indonesia is allowed with a code switching system when the participants find obstacle in expressing something in English, but participants must use a quotation mark to the Indonesian to the Indonesian word or sentence. And then all members can share knowledge and any positive information in the group, such as the article, items, jokes, but it doesn't contain pornography. And then each group member has the freedom to respond to every information that is there. This response can be giving question, gathering tasks, or giving advice. And then participants must create positive, productive, and mutual support among the fellow group members. So in this learning activities or learning process, the students have to give a spirit, especially in facing this COVID-19 pandemic. So they have to support each other so they can produce something productive. So group members are not allowed to bully each other, and then learners in the group must commit to obey all the rules and try to participate in daily chit chat and schedule learning activities. Yeah, here is the example of the daily chit chat and free talking. You can see and you can read by yourself the example. I have screenshot from the WhatsApp group. So here, the participants can greet each other by saying hello or good morning. And then the old members also often greet new members by saying welcome or enjoy the group, and then followed by questions about the identity and Some of them also make an appointment to meet after COVID-19 pandemic. Some of them also become closer and they continue to talk in private chatting. And in the group, they sometimes discuss the training topics with jokes to create a relaxed and comfortable atmosphere. It is intended to change the Indonesian people mindset who consider that English is complicated, burdensome, and boring. So here is the screenshots of the focus activities for Let's Write and Let's Read program. You can see by yourselves. I show you the instructional model. So in here, the director or the administrator share the assignment for the day. Namely, for the example, this is our topic for Let's Write. So everyone can tell planning of your activity after this corona outbreak by this topic. I hope we can visualize it in our mind that is corona will end soon. And then the other is about Let's Listen program. And here is the deputy of director share about listening, share about song. And then the learners try to listen this song. And then we can see the task submission, the way to participants submit the assignment. Here is the example. Assalamualaikum, let me submit today's task and blah blah blah. And then we can see here is focus activities for Let's Speak program. At that time, I conducted this research in some months ago. Video conference like Zoom is not too familiar, so we are introduced to this. We were introduced to this video conference by Zoom early at that time. So we practiced directly at that time. Here is a screenshot for talking about the scholarship. Okay. Here is the pedagogical implication. WhatsApp group English School of Rumah Produktif Indonesia facilitates Indonesian people to stay productive during COVID-19 pandemic, significantly to improve English skill. The members of this group can motivate each other to remain productive thinking and not being frustrated by the social distancing policy. Learning English by utilizing technology development is also support the nation's effort to face the 4.0 era. This paper specifically calls Indonesian citizens to organize self-productivity by joining Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School, or generally this WhatsApp group-based English school references other people worldwide to do a similar way to remain productive during the COVID-19 outbreak and more prepared to face the 4.0 era. Okay, thank you very much for your nice attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Widya, for your insightful presentation. Your message just now is that WhatsApp is very effective and efficient to improve student skills in learning English and also keep them motivated to learn English, interact each other, and so on. And actually, WhatsApp is very accessible and easy for everybody to access the application. So thank you very much for your presentation. And as I've said before, that there will be a question and answer section, and we will have direct question from the participants by raising their hand directly, or maybe they can also write their question in the chat box. So to participants, you might ask any question.
Suka kaki di kepala, masalah ada. Musik.
Hello. participants, you may ask any question you have. This study actually is very interesting because anybody knows WhatsApp, anybody can access WhatsApp on their phone, so it is very handy and applicable to be used as a learning application or learning medium in this situation, because we are now still in uncertainty situations and we do not how much longer this time go on take us in the future. We don't know, we still don't know. So if you have something to ask related to the topic, you can just raise your hand or write your question in the chat box. Or you can also ask question in Bahasa Indonesia and I will translate it in English first.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Okay. Okay, go on. Ms. Alfiani.
Yeah, hello, Dr. Widya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nice to meet you, ma'am. Nice to meet you, ma'am. Nice to meet you, ma'am. Okay. Okay, can you hear my voice, ma'am?
Yes,
Oh yeah. Okay. So actually, my question is it's not really complicated, difficult. I see that nowadays the trend of WhatsApp for educational purpose has been growing. There has been so much growing interest in the context of learning through social media such as WhatsApp. The question is about, but I'm sure that of all the advantages arise from the use of these tools, I'm sure that there are also some disadvantages. In your opinion, ma'am,
I couldn't understand the voice.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, hello.
So my question is, how do you minimize if there are problems occurred when we access these tools, man? I mean the problems. How do you find the way out? How do you solve the problems? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Should I answer directly, moderator? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the nice question, Ma'am Noreski. Actually, yes, as you said that when we talk about social media, I think in one side, maybe the social media have the advantages one. However, in the other side, the social media such as WhatsApp have the disadvantages one. So as you asked me that how to minimize this, this problem or the disadvantage of using this social media, especially in WhatsApp. As you know that I'm also a teacher and also a lecturer. I have make investigation to my students who sometimes who didn't attend the class, and they say that this is because of the signal, maybe the connection of the internet. So I think that to anticipate this problem, maybe the first thing is talking about not only for the WhatsApp. I think the first one is to anticipate the problems. We have to make sure about the internet connection, and the second one is special for the WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is have also the limitation of the features. So I think you have to back up with the other applications such as maybe Zoom or maybe a Google Classroom and so on. So as I conducted now that I'm conducting now in the learning process that I also, because I always control my students not only in the class schedule, not only in the schedule time. WhatsApp is used to control the students' daily activities. However, I also use another application such as Google Classroom, and also in my campus or university use SMADA also, so I can have not only WhatsApp application in teaching and learning process, and while I have also another application in teaching and learning process. Maybe like that.
Well, thank you very much for your answer, Dr. Lydia. That's quite clear, I think, because you say that to minimize the challenge, to minimize the problem, you also back up the data, you also use the other applications such as Google Meet or Zoom application. So thank you very much. But anyway, unfortunately, we don't have enough time to discuss or to answer the other question. So, to Dr. Lydia, could you please give your final remark or maybe conclusion from your presentation just now?
Okay, thank you very much to the moderator for the opportunity was given to me. So for the maybe the final speaker, I just want to say to all the Indonesian people this situation, because we don't know and no one can predict when this COVID-19 leave us. So we just remain productive, stay productive, resolve or make something positive and think positive for ourselves and for people around us. So I think that we have to make this is our challenge to make a more innovation for our better life, because we have to indirectly we have to follow the condition and the situations nowadays, especially in this online learning. So we just how to say, we just support ourselves and think positive that we have to create something better for ourselves and for others. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That was an insightful presentation and final remark or conclusion. So again, thank you very much. But before closing this section, or maybe I'm going to show your certificate, which has been provided by the committee, by the organizing committee. So here it is. This is to certify that Dr. Lydia Prati, MM, actually has been a presenter in this international conference on multidisciplinary research for educational innovation in disruptive era, which is organized by Faculty of Teacher Training in Education at Universitas Muhammadiyah Kendari in Indonesia. So thank you very much. Again, thank you very much, Dr. Lydia. We hope that we can collaborate more in the next event, upcoming years, and so on. So thank you very much, and good luck.
Good luck.
Okay, so we are going to continue our presentation with the next presenter. We have Dr. Alexis Enriquez. I think she is already here. Hello, Dr. Alexis, can you hear us?
Hello. Yes,
hello, how are you, Dr. Alexis? Hello, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Mr. Moderator?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
yes, that's quite clear. That's crystal clear, your voice.
I'm really sorry for the technical problem I had.
Okay, that's okay. Never mind. So again, let me introduce a little bit about Dr. Alexis Arizabal Enrique. She's actually Doctor of Education from Abra State Institute of Science and Technology, Benguet Campus, Philippines. And when looking at her profile or CV, it is clear that she has been teaching for almost 30 years. Wow, amazing. And her area of expertise is in English language teaching, management of education, and some other areas. She also has several published papers. Some of them are teaching styles of language instructors and language performance of CTE students of the Abra State Institute of Science and Technology, motivations for choosing teaching as a career, and a Abranian perspective, and evaluation of the management and quality of the school paper. Her participation in international organizations and conferences is also unquestionable. That is why she was awarded the Best Presenter in Social Science of Asian Virtual Multidisciplinary Research Conference on 27 and 29 August 2020 by Peer Field Association Best Presenter in Education Institutions for Research, and some other notable awards. So, to Dr. Alexis, are you ready to present your paper?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, so thank you very much, and time is yours.
So am I audible now, sir?
Yes, that's quite clear.
Okay, so thank you so much, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank Indonesian friends who always tag me along with this kind of conferences to get in touch with friends around the globe. Special thanks, of course, to Dr. Mutmaina and Dr. Andy, and finally all of you here, the staff for this conference. Okay. Dr. Dula, yeah, nice meeting you, and everyone. So allow me to share with you the screen which I prepared to share with you this morning. I guess I am only given 20 minutes, so I have to make it a rush. Okay, thank you. All right, so as you can see here, the thing that I will be sharing with you is not actually new to all. This is a very, very common, right? Very, very common topic, which we teachers really have to know all of this. However, I'm pretty sure that all of you are already indulged with this one. The topic which I will be sharing with you is contextualizing materials for the marginalized class. I am from the Philippines, and the school which I am affiliated with is the only state college in the province. And since our province, yes, hello. All right, may I continue? Yes, okay, thank you so much. Since we are only given 20 minutes to share the little things which we prepare, okay, try to, mute yourselves, everyone, so that I could do this very smoothly, all right? So as I've said, the school which I am affiliated with right now is the only state college in our province, and our province is actually comprised of 27 municipalities. So you can just imagine that our students would really come from all of these provinces, and we can't help but try to contextualize the materials which we give them, since we are on modular learning today, all right? Modules, the preparation of modules is a tedious task, a very tough one, which we teachers should really have to prepare. Okay, so it's contextualizing materials for the marginalized class, a revisit on models, designs, and approaches. So it's the sharing which I will be giving is just a revisit on the different models, on the different designs and approaches on making or on designing our respective materials for our students, the very soul for our existence as teachers. Okay. So what are the characteristics of
Sorry, Dr. Alexis, your voice is lost. We cannot hear your voice.
Hello.
Okay.
You don't hear me?
Okay.
Am I audible?
Okay, that's better now. Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm holding now my microphone. I'm holding it on my cell phone. All right. So as I mentioned previously, the school which I am affiliated with right now is the only state college, all right, in our province. And our province comprises 27 municipalities. With these 27 municipalities, you could just imagine that we cater marginalized students. And because of this, I would like to share with you how did I contextualize my materials in coming up with these modules exclusively for our students. So let me begin with characteristics of good instructional designs. So according to what I've researched, our instructional materials should really respond to learning needs. There may be a lot of students that we cater, and because of their variations, because of the places where they come from, we need to be creative enough in order to design our own materials in such a way that they suit to their needs. They also provide needs to know, cyclical. Cyclical would mean we can always go back to the objectives which we have created for them. And then along the way, along the journey, in implementing these modules or these materials, we can always go back. Where did I go wrong? How could I improve these materials? So it's cyclical. We can always go back to where we started. And of course, it focuses on learner performance. Okay, so these are just some of the characteristics of good instructional designs. Now, I came up with different models. This is, I'm sure you're all familiar with this, ADDIE, the analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. For the analyze part is where our problems would come in. We need to have the goals for the needs to be met. And then the design, this is already the strategic blueprint in such a way that that is already the handmade materials, all right? Develop, these are assembled into the package, okay? These are reviewed already and revised, and these are based on the feedback that we received. Actually, just to give you a brief eye view of our institution, we have this, what we call instructional committee on instructional materials, wherein the VP, our vice president, serves as the chairman. Of course, we also have the deans, the chairpersons, and one senior faculty. We submit all of them, all of the materials, all of the modules that we set for our students. We submit all of them to this committee, and then they share to us their feedbacks, and then we try to edit, all right? And then on the implement, we have the procedures ready, design on how are we going procedures for learners to participate in learnings, activities, and assessments as intended. And then also, most importantly, evaluate. We have here the formative or the summative. So this is the ADDIE model on ADDIE. Analyze, design, develop, implement, or evaluate. Another design, again, this is not a new taxonomy, right? This is by Anderson and Cratwell, wherein we start, of course, from the lowest, remembering, up to creating, okay? And then we also have here by Robert Kanye, the 9 events of instruction. We have the first, gain the student's attention, right? In this part, we can try to have a story or asking a thought-provoking question. The why, the what probably, or the how. For instance, if we try to give a story for a lesson for that day, so we can have our thought-provoking question in order for our students to start with the lesson. Number 2, Robert has informed students of objectives. Okay, in here,
Sorry, Dr. Alexis, your voice is lost again. We cannot hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Yep.
audible.
Could,
All right.
okay. Could you repeat the second point, inform students' objective, because
All
it
right.
is not clear.
Here. All right. All right. I'm really sorry. Maybe I'm having this Wi-Fi problem or what? Because everybody's having their online classes right now. Okay, our building is full of teachers who are having their online classes upstairs. Okay, anyway, so inform students of objectives. It's very, very important that we inform our students of the expectations. What are they expected to achieve during that day or during the course, right? Then number 3, we have, okay. Oh. All right. Stimulate recall or recall of prior learning. Leverages knowledge to incorporate new knowledge. Prior knowledge or prior learning is very, very important to our students. Again, in this stage, we can have an association, right? An association of their experiences in the past. Okay. Number 4, we have present the content. Now, in my experiences, of course, let's say we have a story for a lesson, we need to have a proper chunking, even with grammar lessons, right? Excuse me, I can only relate with my own expertise with stories. We have grammar. We need to make, or we need to know how proper chunking must be delivered, especially if we have an hour or so for a day or for a week, or let's say 1 to 2 hours. All right, so we need to do some kind of proper chunking on our content so that students could have an idea that such lesson would also be continued the following meeting. All right. Number 5, we have provide learner guidance. This is through the utilization of case studies, activities, discussion questions, and instructional support materials. Number 6, elicit performance. We have to think of performances or assessments that students should really be challenged. Like, for instance, if students are, very rational, we can come up with activities such as debates. If students would love to write, we can come up with critiquing, novel critiquing, film viewing, and so on and so forth. So performance is very, very important. Number 7, we have provide feedback. So according to Robert, this would reinforce knowledge. And then assess performance. This is, of course, we cannot just give them performance without the knowledge on how they are being assessed. Let's say if they are given writing performances or actual performances, oral performances, rubrics or standards or criteria are very, very important, right? And the number 9, enhance retention and transfer to the job. This is on the use of content retention strategies to appropriate a job aids to retain new knowledge. So these are the 9 events.
Alexis, your voice is lost again. We cannot hear you.
Coming up with our instructional material.
Okay.
Now, this is not also very new. This is about David Merrill. 2002, First Principles of Instruction Framework integrates 5 principles of learning. All right. So this is on the task-centered principle, right? Activation principle. As you can see, it's a cycle. All right. So on the task-centered principle, we give them the real-world tasks, right, by which our students could relate to. For instance, on just our own examples of fruits, our own examples on the jobs, our own examples on persons. So we need to contextualize on these examples in such a way that students could relate on our examples. Of course, we cannot talk about cherries if cherries are not present in our own context, but we can talk about guavas, we can talk about coconut, we can talk about the cows and the carabaos, right? But of course, we cannot talk about lions if they're not around. See? And then activation principle, again, this has something to do with connecting with the previous knowledge or activating a prior knowledge. And then we also have the demonstration principle, right? Application principle, integration principle. Okay, I really have to make it fast because I would like to share with you how did I contextualize my own instructional material. All right. In here, all right, it says that in planning, of course, we need to take note on the instructional models, strategies, the methods, and the skills which are integrated, of course, in our own materials. All right, so as you can see here, this is just a summary of the previous slides that I gave you. You have here the instructional materials or instructional methods. You have the direct instruction, indirect, experiential, independent study, interactive, all right? Okay, here we are. I'll be giving you certain models, right? You could adopt later on, or you have adopted already. So this is the do-it model, right? There are parts, actually there are 5. Problem unveiled, let me do it, let's do it together, do it alone, and let's check your understanding. So if you could try to decipher all of this, somehow this is similar with the models which we would be discussing later on. Problem unveiled, okay, this is the lesson proper. This composed a real life problem which have been mentioned in the previous models, right? Real life situations are really very important, specifically if we discuss values inside the classroom, stories or characterization, or an excerpt of the novel, or even simple poetry, right? And then let me do it. This is a part wherein students are given discussion of the topic and we illustrate examples, and then the let's do it together. This is already engaging our students to do some activities, and then they do it alone. Okay, we enrich the previous activity. All right, and then checking your understanding. This needs to be an activity provided in the worksheet. This is already somehow graded, right? This is already with some criteria. The next model is actually the RDS. So review and drill. Okay, this is an initial activity. This is also similar with the previous model, only that problem or real life situations is being discussed, and then reflect and discuss. Same. Reinforce and depend, reproduce, and design. Okay. And then the model number 3 is the 5E. You have the exploration, explanation, encapsulation, enrichment, evaluation. On the exploration, this is a case study. Actually, I've used this in one of my modules since I am handling higher years for the teacher education students, prospect students. So there are a lot of case studies that they could read in such a way that they could learn from them. Although they are very long, okay, very lengthy. So what I do is just to give them the exploration. In explanation, this is the lesson, okay, wherein discussion is given. Extensive discussion is given, and then encapsulation, writing of concepts which they learn from the lesson, and then enrichment. Also, this is a continuation of the activities, okay, for number 3, and then evaluation also with their performances. So this would guide the assessment of understanding of the concepts by analyzing applied form activities. In this part, again, like in the previous 2 models, we give them the criteria, we give them the standards, the rubrics, and so on. Okay. Number 4, we have the start up, gear up, move up model. Actually, based on my research, this is very good a model for a language class. But you know, I again deviated. You see, I again deviated from this. So start up, this will serve as a preparatory activity before taking the concepts under each lesson. Gear up, this will give you the explanation. So this is the discussion part again, and then move up. This is a part wherein students are given activities, right, and criteria are also given. So that's the fourth. And then we have here, okay, let me share, if I still have some time, the learning continuity plan of this. All of us are having this, be it abroad or in the Philippines. We are mandated to come up with the learning continuity. So just like for the others, there was a committee that was done in the school wherein students were actually described or surveyed. So who were surveyed? Our students who were enrolled last year, and then also the faculty were surveyed, were characterized. You will try to check later on. So on this three description of our students, our administration came up with three descriptions. Digitized students. So these are students with devices and have net access. They have devices and they have an access. The techie students, they have gadgets but limited access, right? But take note, the DG immigrant students for maybe no little or none at all, okay? Nothing about technology. So that's digitized, techie, and the DG immigrant students. Now let's go to one important thing, all right? Teachers were also surveyed, were also characterized, but take note. Digital native teachers, they are specialists, young and energetic, adapts to change. The digital immigrant teachers need assistance of specialists and not so young, take note, not so young, but can adapt to change. But the third, oh my God, they call digital alien teachers. Why? They cannot cope with the use of technology and they always rely on others to do the tasks. I guess I don't belong to BRC, but hey, I guess, all right? So I'm just sharing you, this is one of the most unique part of the learning continuity plan of ASIS. I haven't seen any continuity plan having surveyed the kind of students that they have and the kind of teachers they also have, okay? So I'm sharing you that. All right, so here we are. This is one of my module before, all right? So as you can see, this is the front cover, and then on the second part, this one, all right? So I taught this, the teacher and the school curriculum. So you can devise in such a way a picture could be written there. And then how many weeks should this be? Will it be a module for good for the midterm? And since we have 6 weeks for the midterm and another 6 for the finals, 6 or 5 or 6. So you could indicate there that this module is good for midterm so that students would no longer be coming every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks inside the school just to get their modules, right? So I also wrote there some kind of preface, or a description, though there are already some overview, all right? So for students to be, somehow be motivated or be elated reading our modules, we can come up with all of this, although it's not mandatory, but then it's really tough, okay? So for every part, I wrote there somehow a corresponding, how do you call this, emoji, if that's to call it. For an overview, the emoji should be like that. Friendly reminders, the emojis should be like that. And then for message in a box, because in this module, I really wrote a lot of messages in a box. So another emoji for that. And then for evaluate, this is the emoji I had. For friendly message, this is the, and so on and so forth. So for every step, for every, part of the module, there is a corresponding emoji, right? Just a breakdown of the All right. So lesson 1, right? This is how I did it. Okay. And all right, they explain and then they elaborate. Okay, and then they evaluate. All right. Here, for every last part of the module, I come up with a summary or a unit test or summative test or quiz. But again, this is not mandatory. We can have that every after lesson or every after unit. And then last portion is this one. Of course, since module writing is highly personalized, it's as if we are away, but we let them feel that we are beside them. So I congratulate them. Congratulations, with your student. You have finally finished the midterm module. And then another emoticon is there, or an emoji is there. Okay. So this is the summary. Actually, on your left is the model intended for the 5E. But how did Alexis do it? Okay. So I'm the teacher in the school curriculum. I use this model. Engage, which is also equivalent to exploration, and then explore, elaborate, and evaluate. So I came up with a short deviation from the intended model. I made my own, right? But in the teaching profession, rather than using the 5E, I only made use of 4 E's, which is engross, similarly with activating prior knowledge, enlist. Enlist is already the discussion part. Enrich is, of course, the activity part. And then the enflame, this is the summary part. Okay? All right. Another lesson was on building and enhancing literacy across curriculum. All right, the start up, the gear up, the move up model. I think this is the number 3 model, which was shared to you. But I use this model, right? Instate rather than start up, install rather than gear up, and instill rather than move up. But still, the con remains the same. It's just that we have to deviate a little, right, to suit, of course, the kind of students that we have. So, in summary again, I would like to share with you this quotation from Ward, the mediocre teacher tells, right? The good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, but of course, the great teacher inspires. During this pandemic, it's really hard to be number 4. But we can do it through our own creativity, through our own patience. We can be great teachers for our students. Okay, so thank you so much for having me around. And that's all I could share for this morning.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Alexis. That was awesome, fruitful, insightful, and very informative presentation. Thank you very much. And if I can highlight, this presentation actually broadened our mind about course design, about curriculum implementation and application in an institution, actually. And then we also can see your new models. There are so many kind of models of curriculum design at the end of your slide. So thank you very much. Again, we will have question and answer section. There will be 2 questions taken from participants. Some will be can be directly raise their hand on Zoom application, and can also write their question on the chat box. So
sure.
Does anyone have something to ask?
Yes, I'll be waiting for their questions if there are. I could share my PowerPoint presentation to all those who are interested, all right, and get a glimpse of this sharing, all right. I will just send the email probably to Dr. Molina, thank you, and to our moderator.
Oh,
There be
amazing,
none.
amazing. That's fantastic.
Yes, I think we could go to the next speaker. In as much as I've eaten so much of your time, I'm really, really very sorry. And I hope you could again invite me for some
That's okay.
avenues like this later on. Thank you so much, my dear friends from Indonesia. Thank you. I've been there actually, 2019. Yes. Thank you
Is
so
there any
much.
question for participants?
Yeah, may I read this from Daisy Galgana, actually? All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Alexis, you were amazing. Everybody is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Oh, I wish to visit again Indonesia sometime. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Someone has raised his hand, I think.
Okay.
Obviously,
Let
you have
me
time.
check. Let me check.
I don't know. Thank you so much. He just thanked. All right. Nor Anissa, Alwi. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much also.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. We have one participant who is raising his hand. That is Harmin Nurdin. Harmin Nurdin, you might ask the question directly to Dr. Alexis.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Just want to ask about all of the four models that you have been present. The fourth model, do it model, RDS, 4ES, and Starlight and Graph. And how can we incorporate models, all of the fourth models for a different level of skills or level of knowledge of the students?
Yes. As I mentioned, you have to know your students first, right? That's the first thing that you should know. The needs of the students, the kind of students for which this module should serve, right? It's very, very important. What kind of students do they have? Are they? Okay, that's one thing. And of course, your own comfort. Are you familiar, or are you okay with the 5 steps or just the 3 steps? If you are having so much you're having a hard time, you can choose the step, the module with the model rather with 3 steps. The gear up, all right, the start up, move up, all right, you can have that. If you are already having a hard time, actually I decided to have that since I prepared 4 modules and I was already running out of time. That's also very, very writing a module, in writing an instructional material. Time, right? Not so much with your effort because you really love to be writing the module. But when you are already having time constraint, you can choose, all right, the model which has less steps. Rather than choosing the 5 steps or the 5 or the 6 steps, you can have the 3 steps. But still, all the concepts are there. Even if you will try to decipher all of these models, somehow they're all the same, right? They're all the same. It's just that one of the models come up with the case study. Again, you can have that model exclusive for the teacher education students, right? How about if you are into first year college or freshman? I don't think that 5 steps would really be enjoyable for them. So give them the 3 steps: the gear up, the move up, all right? You can have that. You can design for this type of student. But if you are teaching senior students, oh my God, you can have the 6 steps, right? So it would really depend on the capacity of the student, on the need, and of course, since we are having our marginalized students, we cannot really give them, something to give them the best satisfaction. They should should also be satisfied. All right. Thank you so much. I hope that I answered your question. The needs of the students is one most important thing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Alexis, for. Okay, thank you, Dr. Alexis, for insightful answer. Actually, this reminds me on the curriculum design, which is the first step is needs analysis. As has been highlighted by David Lulan or Jack Rickards and so on. They are expert in curriculum design, and this is quite in line with your design and your model. So we still have one participant raising his hand. That is Muhammad. Muhammad Anshar from UMK Kendari.
Another question?
Yes, still one question from Muhammad Anshar.
Okay. Who is? Could you open your cam? May I see you? You see me, but I also want to see you as well.
I'm sorry, sir, that's my question. That I am. Muhammad Ansar is the first questioner before.
Yes, hello. Yes, go ahead. Thank you. Hello, go ahead.
Wow.
Hello.
Lihun, moderator?
Yes, sorry.
Actually, answer gave the question to Dr. Alexis. So now, actually, I guess no one here. It was so amazing presentation, Doctor. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, Lihan.
Okay. Sorry. I think Muhammad Ansar got a little problem with his connection to ask question directly to Dr. Alexis. Thank you very much, Dr. Alexis, for your presentation. And so what we call amazing, so wonderful. This is totally broadened our mind, our understanding about course design or curriculum design. So again, thank you very much. We do appreciate that. And as a form of our appreciation, actually, I would like to show your certificate, which has been provided by the organizing committee of this event. So let's take a look on this. Okay, here we go. Can you see this one? Okay, so this is your certificate from the organizing committee of this event, of this international conference on multidisciplinary research for educational innovation and disruptive era. So again, I think that's all. And could you give your final remark or your conclusive statement of your presentation? Sorry, we cannot hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh my God. All right. I don't know what's happening now. I think this is again technical problem. All right. I had already summarized my presentation. One thing that I would like to assert now is I hope in the future you would again be inviting me for such a very, very wonderful conference from Indonesia. All right.
Thank you so much. And I really, really am so sorry for this technical problem I experienced. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you again.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Okay, of course. Thank you very much, Dr. Alexis Enriquez, for your presentation now. And we hope that we can meet again in the future conference or in the future event. So,
sure.
Yes, we would like to continue the presentation to the third presenter today is Dr. Nur Aini, SPD, MPD. So is she here now? Dr. Nur Aini. Let me check. Okay, I think she is here now. Hello, Dr. Nur Aini.
Hi.
Hi, Dr. Nur Aini. Hello, Dr. Nur Aini. Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm listening here.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Nur Aini, who is here with
Hello.
Something happened with the moderator audio.
Okay. Is that
Now
my
it,
turn?
yes, you're. Yeah.
Okay, my turn. Thank you.
By the way, before your turn, probably he has something to read for you. So let's check the moderator.
Okay.
A moment.
Yes, while I'm preparing my presentation.
Very nice, doctor.
Okay.
Sini, Rukna.
Telepon semua telepon call center baru ada. Untuk ini rekan ini harusnya berapa ribu? Cara? Lagu nyanyi. Nyanyi.
satu menurutkan burung terbang di tangan di kepala, tangan di pinggang. Adet deh. Tepuk tangan. Tangan di kepala, tangan di pinggang.
Pendidikan menjadi hal utama dalam menghadapi era globalisasi dengan penguasaan ilmu baik dalam bentuk soft skill dan hard skill, terutama di bidang teknologi dan akhlak yang dapat ditempuh di perguruan tinggi. Universitas Muhammadiyah Kendari menjadi pilihan utama menempuh pendidikan tinggi, merupakan satu-satunya perguruan tinggi swasta di Sulawesi Tenggara dengan akreditasi institusi sangat baik sejak tahun 2000.
Dr. Nuraini, ya.
Yes, but I'm sorry, I cannot really turn on my camera, so I don't know what happened with this. You can just listen to my voice anyway. Okay, so thank you very much. Welcome. I'm so sorry for the bad connection. Just got. Again, I would like to welcome Dr. Nuraini, SPD MPD, and little bit about her biographical note. She is from Universitas Negeri Makassar, Indonesia. She also actively participated in several international conferences. Two of them were Brown Bag Seminar at Northern Alliance University, the USA and Asia TIFL 2020, a virtual international conference at Kintex, Gyeongsang, South Korea. She also was gained several prestigious awards. Some of them were the best report designed for basic training for civil servant hosted by the Ministry of Education and Culture of Indonesia and Pulsat Bank Land 2020. Global Educator of the Decade Award given by Leadership in Education Academy Development and Philippines 2020, and the current one is International Ambassador of Peace, EDUCO's Unit Global Achiever Awards given by World Literary Forum for Peace and Human Rights 2021. So, for Dr. Nuraini, your time is starting now. The time is yours. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes, thank you, the moderator, for these great opportunities. First of all, I will say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning, everyone. Okay.
Good morning.
First of all, I would like to express my best gratitude to the committee. 1,000 thanks to Universitas Muhammadiyah Kendari, who has led me and invited me as one of the speakers in this great conference. Thank you very much. Well, let me start my presentation today entitled Engaging Your Online Students. Like the moderator has said before that I'm Dr. Nuraini. I'm from Universitas Negeri Makassar, Indonesia. I have several experience related to publication and TIFL as well. And one of the International Ambassador of Peace given by World Literary Forum of Peace and Human Rights. This is the latest one. Well, without any further ado, we're gonna have some news for today. So what is engagement? Why it is important? Engagement with the instructor of the lecturer. The third one is engagement with the other students, and the last one is engagement with the course content. So this is our menu for today. Yes. So now before we talk about what is the students' engagement itself, let's talk about or some reflection what happened in the last year, that since the early of 2020, so all the classes, all the schools in the world have closed down physically, and they have changed and moved to the online classes. And it is a kind of a big challenge for the teacher, or for me myself, to be more creative, to be more aware about the IT in teaching. So it really forced us actually to as the lecturer to try to integrate the technology in our teaching. So e-learning is one of the best tools in teaching, because we don't need to go to physical class, but if we go to the college or campus, that one thing that really hard for us, especially how do we engage our students? Because I do believe not only me, myself, but the teacher around the world have faced or have experienced the same problem what I have experienced, that we're really difficult to engage our students. We don't know what happened when we are talking, when we are delivering our materials. We don't know what happened behind their monitor, because sometimes they turn off the video. We cannot see and we cannot control them. Right? Am I right? So it is a big challenge for us. How do we engage our students? That's why this is a big reason why I'm dealing with these issues. So firstly, what is student engagement and why it is important? So according to Platon and Portland 2008, explained that engagement has three components, such as positive conduct, effort, and participation. So another scholar defines engagement as the degree to which learners are involved with their educational activities. That engagement is positively linked to desired outcomes, high grades, and student satisfaction and perseverance. Bear, Clark, and Jones 2010 defines students' engagement is the link to undergraduate academic achievement, student attribution, student retention, student motivation, and institutional success. Well, we still have another scholars say when the learners are engaged, they are shaping and leading their own learning and education. In addition, students' engagement holds the magic by making it possible for students to succeed and develop their potential, according to Q 2013. And Duffy, Coates, and Danny Zadol believe that students who are more engaged learn more. So when the students engage, they will learn more and more enthusiastic in our teaching and learning process. Well, students' engagement itself is the level of effort or interaction between the time or the learning resources that develop learning outcomes and experience. So when the students are highly engaged in their learning, they can improve their academic achievement, such as critical thinking, grades, and then apply acquired knowledge to real life. And that is the core point or our goals in order to make them can apply what they have got in the class in the real situation in the real life. So like what I have mentioned before, that students' engagement has relationship with the student satisfaction. Yes, so we have a learner interaction, we have instructor presents or the lecturer presents, and we have the engagement and the student satisfaction. So when the students feel satisfaction or satisfied, it means they engage very well. And it can improve the students' achievement as well. Okay. Other benefits of students' engagement. So it greater sense of ownership over their learning. It increases motivation, improves self-esteem, greater achievement, improve relationship with peers and educators. Okay, engaging with the lecturers. This is our next menu for today. Yes, the things that we have to provide and we have to practice on engaging with the lecturers or the instructors is encompasses the extent to which you come across as an empathetic person, form connection and respond to the students throughout your course. So every lecturer defines their virtual self differently. So it is useful to consider what information about yourself, your work or your lesson and you want to share and why it is important. So this is the first time or the first meeting that we always provide when we are having our online class. Next one is maintain an active daily presence in the course. So we have to give frequent and substantive feedback throughout the course. Let the students know what response time they should expect for a question or inquiries. So, for example, you may choose 24 to 48 hours. So when you provide the courses, like I do believe that every lecturer or every university, they have their own LMS. So we have to provide the frequent and substantive feedback throughout the course. The next one is establish an environment that is conducive to students coming to see you rather than resorting to if they have trouble getting an assessment done on time. Another part in engage with the lecturers is interact with the students as they work. So whether it is commenting on a draft or document online, dropping into a chat room, or merely acknowledging students in live station and make the journey with them. So we provide example that we have a Zoom meeting, we have a chat box, so you can let your students to fill the chat box and then try to interact with the students while looking at the chat box. Maybe there is something writing or suggestion or question from your students. Next one is provide interactive feedback to students is really essential. So feedback to students about their performance is essential in the effort to keep students engaged in learning journey. And the next one, judge the students who are not engaging in the course. So remember that our students, it's really different. They have a different ability, can be ability in a material or access of the internet. So we have to pay attention and try to be their partner in their class when they cannot, or when you find one or two students cannot join your class. Please do 3 things that you have to convey. Okay, try to find out what happened with the students. You have to convey that you care about and believe in the student. The liberal, what is the action you require from the student? So by when are you requesting it and what will happen next? So you have to tell, for example, you give an assignment or activities, you have to tell your students that that is the importance of the task that you are going to provide. Why the students have to work it out or complete it. Okay. The next menu is engaging with the other students. So there are 5 things that related to engaging with the other students. So foster better student interaction. The second one is encourage critical and reflective discussion. The third one is plan and facilitate thoughtful group work. The fourth, provide interactive peer feedback. And the last one is set up help teams. Okay. Foster better student interaction is a good starting point for building student rapport. So introductions may be the form of a required discussion through an activity designed to let the students learn about one another personality. And the second one is better encourage critical and reflective discussion. So try to give exercise like focus group discussion in order to have problem solving activities. And next one is plan and facilitate thoughtful group work. This is the same with the group discussion before. Okay, and then the most important, set up student help teams. So take advantage of a student's expertise while building more community among the students. So my personal experience when I have group discussion, I don't put or let the students to choose their own group, but try to put them with the group in which in that team there is a superior, and they can help their friends, because sometimes our students cannot say directly to the lecturer or to the teacher, but they feel comfortable to share with their peers. So I try to divide not with the superior all one team, but we have to post it for every group.
Hello, Dr. Nuraini. Are you there?
Excuse me.
Okay,
Am
sorry.
I? Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm so sorry for my bad connection. There's always a technical problem. I'm so sorry about that. Is it visible?
Yes, that's visible. You may continue your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next one is engagement with the course content. So the first one is create short audio introduction to each lesson. So this not more than 5 minutes introduction involve the instructors or lecturers talking through the PowerPoint slides, or maybe the video, the short video presenting a general overview about your lessons. I do believe that in this pandemic have changed all the teachers and all the lecturers all over the world. It happens to me as well. I never made a video before to present the material, to introduce my lesson to the students, but now I get adjusted with this one. The second one is use your students exploring, editing, and creative skills. As you plan assignments, think about what students do so well in the digital environment and build their work around those skills and behaviors. So online students quickly shift from the consumers to producers or content, and sharing is easy. So build the activities that encourage them to create and peer review. And the next one is develop participation and skills. We have to determine or ensure that participation is one of the skills. So the time they participate, it means they will develop their skills. The next one, highlight students' individual experiences. Encourage them to share those distinct experiences and help them tap such skills for their coursework. So try to relate to the content or the topic and let them to relate with their personal experience. And then improve course accessibility for all. Regardless of whether a student relies or assistive technology or not, having course materials that don't create barriers to learning is an ongoing need for students in online education. And to wrap up this presentation for today, as the indicator of the students' engagement based on my experience and also the experiment that I have done, there are some indicators that related to the students' engagement. The first one is completing the assignments. The second one, submitting assignments on time, obtaining good grades for the course, motivating others in a class, getting involved in a class discussion, and doing self-learning where needed in order to understand the subject matter even more, and actively participating and enthusiastic in the lesson discussion polls that the students respond in a timely manner, and the learner interacts with the content and discovers concepts and principles to apply. And while online classes provide students with more flexibility and new ways to collaborate, success in the online environment is directly related to how present and engage both the lecturer and the students are in the virtual classroom. So when the students are engaged, they tend to perform better. So when students are actively engaged in the material, they tend to present it more deeply, which leads to successful retention of the material. Okay, so that is the end of my presentation for today about the students' engagement. I thank you very much. When you have any question or comment, feel free to have and to contact me over here. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning. Back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Nuraini. That was also a grateful presentation and awesome slides. So thank you very much. If I can highlight some of your points in your presentation, you said that empowering students' engagement can improve students' cooperative work, cooperative learning, students' report, and also social interaction or social emotions among other students. So this is actually quite important in supporting learning. We are now in question and answer section. The participants also can ask the presenter directly by raising their hands, or maybe they can write their question chat box. So if you have some question, 2 questions, you might ask the presenter now. Okay, any question?
Excuse me. If it sabi mo si Jose.
Okay. One participant is raising his hand. Is Rizal Nur Rashid. Rizal Nur Rashid, please give your question.
Okay, before I ask my question, I like to say my grateful to allow me to give my question. So let's just go to the topic. So now the speaker has explained about the engagement, how to engage the students into our material. So my question is, can you suggest me 1 or 2 or more than 5 maybe about your way to engage the students of elementary school, especially for the first grade of elementary school? I think that's all, and thanks in advance.
Okay, is that clear, the question from Rizal Rashid?
Yes. Okay. Can I
You may
answer
answer
that?
it now.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, moderator. Thank you for your question, Rizal. Yeah. What a great question for me. My personal experience, because while I'm teaching university students, I always teach elementary students as well, and I always use some gamification in my teaching, especially using quizzes and bamboozle and ladder. They really like it. While I'm teaching the second grade students of elementary school, using that gamification, especially that is a quiz and bamboozle. I try to put their lesson in that bamboozle application. So it is the online, so you can practice later. And if you want to know how do we practice directly, or the outline or the lesson plan or something related with that, you can contact me later after presentation. We can talk more about that. So one thing that I use is I always use gamification in my class, especially for elementary school. That is my personal experience. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that is quite answer my question. But I want to explain a little bit more about the special engagement for the first grade of elementary school. Like maybe just you say like bamboo puzzle like that. Is that accurate? I know. Is that proper to the first grade of elementary school or not? And what is the advantages and maybe what is the weaknesses? And yeah, I think that's all.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for your question. Anyway, actually, gamification is based on your the level of your students that you have. You can use it for elementary, you can use it for university students, and I use, Bamboozle or Game Kit or Quizzes is not only that, but we have like a flashcard. You can use the flashcard for especially for elementary school. So for example, that you are going to talk about things around the room, so you can use the flashcard to teach your students by using that flashcard. Of course, I believe they will enjoy and they will engage learning with you. Why? Because it involved them to do and to play with you. So they will think, okay, actually we play, but while they are playing, they are learning it as well. So I want to talk about the positive and the negative, or the advantage or disadvantages. Like what I have mentioned before, gamification, it has advantages. It involves the students. It will give the enjoyable or conducive learning, but it's limited because it's focused on the gadget. So try to create more by using flashcard. So you can make your own flashcard, and then you can show to your students, and then maybe you can make it in a PDF form, so you can send to the parents. Because I do believe that when we are teaching elementary students, we are not only teaching the students directly, but we need the parents' assistance. So we need the good rapport between the teacher and the parents and the students itself. So I think that's all. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's all. I think I have no question, and thank you for the splendid explanation. I appreciate it, and I give back to the moderator. Thanks.
Okay. Anyway, Rizal Rashid, you can contact me later if you want to still. I do believe that you want to still convey some question or something that you want to share or confirm. So feel free. I have my contact in a moderator. You can contact.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Okay, again, thank you very much, Dr. Nuraini, who has answered the question. Thank you. And the next question comes from actually one student raising her hand just now. Eftita Khair Nisa, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please give your question to Dr. Nuraini. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to ask, as a student, may you suggest
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello?
If Tita, go on, please.
Baik. As a student, may you suggest us how we engage ourselves in learning, especially in online learning?
Okay. Okay, moderator, can I answer?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you
can
for
I answer the
your.
question?
Okay. Thank you for your question. Excuse me, what is your name?
My name is Siti Khairunisa.
Okay, I call you Nisa, yeah? I'm so sorry, it's so long, so
Yeah.
I call you Nisa. Okay, thank you for your question. How do we engage or engage ourselves or motivate ourselves to be engaged in the online class? Yes, is that your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Firstly, the first thing that I have to say that actually that it should be intrinsic motivation. So the motivation, it should come up from yourself. Okay, that is the most essential or the core point. So even all the lecturers provides many platforms, many activities, many strategies to learn, to teach you, but the motivation is only the extrinsic motivation that come up from the students. It will not really engage you. But the most important thing is you build up your personal motivation or your intrinsic motivation. And you know, my personal experience, I do sorry, and I have to say sorry because I have to always share my personal experience because it happened to me. It happened to me that when I remember my parents, you know, when it started when I studied my undergraduate in the past, when I remember my parents, when I remember my dad, my mom, I will put my motivation or my willingness to learn is really in a high position. I don't think the other things. I only think that, okay, I have to finish this semester. I have to join in this online class with Mem Aini or Mem or Sir Rahmat Nasrullah maybe, yeah? So the most important thing is come out from yourself, your personal motivation or intrinsic motivation. That's the key. And that's what I feel, that's what I experience. And how to build up your personal experience, your personal motivation, remember about your parents, your mom and your dad. Especially for the students who are really stay far away from their parents. That is my personal experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nuraini. How about that? The answer, if the does that answer your question?
Thank you very
Okay,
much for the
says-
answer you have given.
Well, thank you, Iftita. So we have one more question from the chat box. This question comes from Albert. Albert Pagadora, probably from Philippines. His question is, how can grade 1 learners engage learning through modular distance learning in an upstream areas, especially whose parents are struggling parents and illiterates actually. So how can like first grade learners engage through modular distance learning?
Okay, can I answer?
Yes, can answer it now.
Yes, thank you, moderator. Thank you, Mr. Albert Pagadora, for your question. how can grade one learners engage learning through modular distance learning in upstream areas, especially in struggling parents and illiterates? Yes, what a great and really touching question, especially my personal. Yes, like what I have mentioned before in a slide, that we have to niche our students, niche your online students, try to contact them and try to check which one is not in your online class and try to reach them. And then we have to convey that what is the point of our lesson, why it is important, and what activities that they have to do. So that is the things that we have to do. We have to contact the students. We try to talk personally to the parents. Even we have like that struggling parents and illiterates. So it's our role not only teach, not only transfer the knowledge, but try to educate and try to talk personally to them. Can be to the students and can be to the parents, especially who are struggling parents and illiterates. Okay, is that answer your question, sir? Albert Pagadora? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir. Okay.
yes, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Sorry. Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Yep. I think we don't have any more question in this section. And also, this is actually the last minutes of your section to present your paper. And could you give like a final remark or overall conclusion from your presentation just now?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for this time to have just like conclusion or close remark that in students' engagement, the things that I have to convey is nothing builds everyone closer to one another than shared experiences. I think that is the closing remarks from me. Thank you, sir.
Wow, that's excellent. That is a very brief and comprehensible conclusion, actually. So thank you very much, Dr. Nuraini. Again, as our kind of appreciation, actually, we are going to give your certificate of your presentation today. And here we go. Let me share it on our Zoom so that you can see it. Okay. So here it is. Can you see the certificate?
Chat. Okay.
Okay. So this certificate is given to Dr. Nuraini MPD as her participation in the first international conference on multidisciplinary research for educational innovation in disruptive era, which is organized by Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Muhammadiyah University of Kendari, Indonesia, on 5th to 6th April 2021. So again, thank you very much for sharing your valuable research findings and informative, also insightful discussion today. So thank you very much, Dr. Nuraini, and see you in the next future in upcoming events or conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Molina, and the other thing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So anyway, we are going to have the last presenter in this morning section. But let me just check if she is already here.
Okay, Lihun, we are waiting for Dr. Sheena. It will be 2 minutes.
Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan, Program Studi Administrasi Pendidikan, memiliki sarana dan prasarana untuk mendukung kegiatan akademik